fertilization, continuation with that, we call the fertilization as double fertilization in case of angiosperm. So why are we calling it as a double fertilization? The fertilization process, as we have observed over here, we have understood that the antipodal cells which are present, this is the structure of an embryo sac. These are the antipodal cells, the two polar nuclei, the synergids and the egg cell, that is the egg apparatus. Now, when the pollen tube enters over here, carrying the male gametes, it consists of 3 male gametes. One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell, while the other fuses with these two polar nuclei. This is N, these are all N, synergids, egg cell and all. So here, the fusion between the egg cell, that is a haploid structure, with one of the male gamete results into the formation of zygote, which is a diploid structure. So the fusion or the pollen tube carrying the two male gametes, one of the male gamete fusing with the egg cell forms the zygote. So this is one fusion with the male gamete. Now also the polar nuclei are present at the center of the embryo sac. So what is happening over here? They have not fused. The polar nuclei are each having a ploidy of N and N, one set of chromosome each. So here what is happening is the other male gamete, which is being formed by the generative cell, fuses with these two polar nuclei which are present at the center of the embryo sac. So they will fuse. Now over here, due to the fusion of the two polar nuclei with one male gamete, it will result into the formation of primary endosperm nucleus, or in short we call it as PEN, and it is 3N structure. Now this primary endosperm nucleus later on forms the primary endosperm cell, and also called PEC. This primary endosperm cell will later on form the endosperm as a part or the next step, that is post-fertilization events, which will be taking place after the fertilization has happened. Now over here, due to syngamy, that is the fusion of the egg cell with one of the male gamete, zygote is formed, and this zygote later on divides fast to form the embryo. So since the fertilization is taking place that there are two fusions involved. First fusion is syngamy and the second is known as the triple fusion. Due to this fusion, 2 times it is taking place, we call it as double fertilization. And it was discovered, or it was shown by Navaschin in 1898. So he demonstrated the process of double fertilization. Now, double fertilization is therefore involving the syngamy and the triple fusion. Syngamy, again, we can define it as the fusion of the egg cell with the male gamete to form the zygote, whereas triple fusion is defined as the fusion of the two polar nuclei, N plus N, with the one of the male gamete, and that results into a triploid structure which is known as primary endosperm nucleus. So double fertilization involves syngamy and triple fusion. Later in the next part of the video, we'll be explaining about the post-fertilization events and how this fusion develops various parts of the plant. Thank you.